has been nice not playing multiplayer games for a week, I guess, realistically. I kind of needed the break. I've been just chilling for the most part,
Hmm.
playing Fire Emblem and Hogwarts, which we'll get into that later. But and I've been watching Critical Role on YouTube. Which, have you ever heard of that show?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I really like that show a lot. It's so much content, dude. Like literally like 4 hour episodes, and there's like fucking like 300 of them. you know so there, it's a lot. I tend to not watch it by itself. I'll do something else while I watch it. So I've been kind of doing that for the last week, which has been nice. It's just been chill for the most part, so not stressing myself out in the evening. It's good. I mean, I'm not done with the multiplayer. I think I'll probably play some maybe this weekend. But I just got to a point, dude. Like I think we've been doing it for months straight at this point, and I'm sure that the listeners, um, feel similarly. Like, oh my god, they're talking about League every goddamn week for like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's like it got to a point where I'm like, we were just like, there was one night. I think nobody said anything. Like, I think it was Saturday. Like, nobody said anything. Nobody got on. I was just, you know what? I'm just gonna play Hogwarts and I'm gonna chill. I'm not gonna do anything. And then I just did that the next night and the next night. And then it's been a few days. So it's been good. I think, like you said, like kind of needed it. I need to get back on the single player wagon. I got a lot of games I got to get through, to be honest. Like, I got 2 on my
Yeah.
desk. I literally just ordered Atelier Rise of 3, and that should be here this weekend. So I gotta play some games, man. It's like the multiplayer stuff's fun. It's been fun, but I can't do it every night. It's like it's too much.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just it's our icebreaker, right? Yeah, because
Hmm.
if it's so, yeah, yeah, it's been. I actually might go MIA for the on the group chat, not in the group chat. I still talk to you guys, but as far as like multiplayer games, last night it was okay. Uh, League was okay, and Apex was,
Yeah.
uh, but I don't know. Just playing Resident Evil and just getting frustrated with that game, and then
Mm.
it just being the game,
Yeah.
um, and conquering that game. I don't know. It was pretty fun and just rewarding.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think just need to. I'm probably about to jump back into Wulong or something like that. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna finish Dead Space. That's what I'm gonna do. I have it and
Okay.
I never finished it, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
finish it.
Definitely.
So
For sure. Or like Wild Hearts or something. Right.
yeah.
Don't
Well,
you
that's
have
a
Fire
multiplayer
Emblem?
game.
Didn't you get Fire Emblem too?
I have Fire Emblem too. I'm
Yeah.
on chapter
Yeah,
11.
dude.
I haven't finished
Oh
it.
my
So
god, man. Yeah. So we're like, yeah. There's just so many games that are like sitting, like, dude, Tactics Ogre. I never went back to that game. I dropped that game over my Thanksgiving break, and I never picked it back up. And I'm like,
I thought you
I'm
didn't like it too much.
I'm
The
honestly mad at
remake.
myself. But no, I mean, I had complaints, but they weren't enough for me to not want to play the game. It's just like dude, I went from that to God of War, and then I went from God of War to like League and playing multiplayer, and then I got Fire Emblem and Hogwarts,
Yeah.
and it's like it just kind of fell off the radar. But I really need to get back to that. And then there's fucking Front Mission on the Switch from last year too that I really want to play, that the remake
Ah,
of that
fuck.
too.
I
So
actually pre-ordered that, and I had I
so
don't
you
know.
have it.
Yeah. I forgot about it.
Nice. Yeah, so I need to play that one too, or I want to play that one as well. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna go AWOL. Like, if people want to play, I'll probably get on maybe once or twice a week, but I'm not doing. I can't do every
Well,
night. Like, dude, it just
uh,
we were getting so stressed out, and I just felt like the
yeah.
night would evaporate when we would play League, and
No, you're
I,
right.
it just, yeah, I don't know.
No, you're right. I will say, to get you back, Apex they just dropped Olympus, so it's back, baby.
Oh, motherfucker, dude. Come on with this shit. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll play Apex. All right. I- no, dude, they do this.
I'm not gonna lie. Me and Jet was playing. We were playing trios because it wasn't
Yeah.
in the rotation for rank yesterday,
Yeah.
and we were playing duos. I'm sorry, and it felt so good, man. That map, it's something about that Olympus map, man,
I've
that
been
just feels
telling you
so
guys, it's
fucking
the best
refreshing.
map. It's the best map. It is so good. Like, dude, my favorite time in Apex was when that map came out. The 2 or 3 seasons after that map came out, where that was the map, that's probably my favorite period of the game. Like, no joke. And I just think it's the most versatile map. It's like the most interesting map. It has the most interesting locations. Like, it has the most interesting kind of routes through it. I think the firefights are really interesting. I really like the open space, actually, because players can't just run at you. Like, it's not
Well, it's a
gonna
very
work.
vertical open space. All of
Yeah.
it's vertical. It
Right.
has or
Yeah.
had different planes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
okay, fine. Maybe I'll come back for that. All right. I do like Olympus. It is. It is. It is a really
Jet
good
was gonna
map.
put it in the chat. I was like, no, he's probably asleep or something, bro. Let him go to sleep.
Leave him in peace. Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. Well, that might get me to come back. That might get me to come back a little bit. But I mean, again, even if I do, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not playing every
I
day. Like,
I will say
so
this. I'm only gonna play on the days that in ranked specifically. I'm only gonna play it when it's Olympus day. Like
yeah.
when it's the hours for Olympus. I think I'm gonna start like sectioning off my fucking Apex Legend days. Because yeah, it's getting too stressful for me. So
Well, it's either that map or the newest map. I like those two.
Broken Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
They took Rose out the rotation, so it's not
Good.
in there.
Oh
So
my god. Oh my god. Thank you. Oh my fucking god, dude. Like, that
people are
map.
actually complaining about that. Like
No, you're all fucking idiots, dude. That map has been in the rotation for 6 straight seasons. Can we fucking get a break, please? Like,
I actually prefer yeah, you're right, because I actually was like Stormcatcher is way better uh than World's Edge and ranked. It's insane how good Stormcatcher is, or
Stone
whatever
Point. Yeah.
Storm Point is in ranked. Um, I don't know. Even when, because like the way ranked is right now, at least everyone camps to the end. And Storm Point is so big to where when you camp in the end, it's still like you're on a decent sized map to where you can do shit. When
Yeah.
you do that shit in World's Edge, it's just not it, man. Like it's just
Yeah.
not it.
Well, I feel that way. That map and Kings Canyon were a different time for the game, right? Those maps were made in the meta that was run and gun.
Yeah,
And I think Olympus was the beginning of them changing the way the game played. Um,
yeah,
and you can tell because that map, Storm Point and Broken Moon, they fit the game much better currently. Like, what the current game is, they fit it a lot better than those older two maps, in my opinion.
yeah.
I can't stand Kings Canyon and World's Edge anymore. Like, I just maybe it's just they've been around the longest and that's part of the
No,
problem. But
I think it's the
it's
redesign. I
yeah.
can't stand the redesign of Worlds. I want sorting back. Like that's what I want.
Me too, dude. I like Lava Siphon is fine, okay? If it was in another part of the map, like, I don't want it to go away. Just put it somewhere
Yeah,
else,
put it somewhere else. Yeah,
I just give me sorting back, man. Like, that was the best location. Like, that was the drop zone. I think this is what um Apex is missing for me sometimes is I know we talk about dropping hot and trying to avoid dropping hot. That's why I liked sorting, because you were dropping hot, but it was such a big drop zone that you could in theory avoid combat until you were the third party. Like,
exactly.
if you
Yep.
played it right. That's why I liked sorting. I don't like Lava Siphon because it's so sectioned off. Like, there's 4 zones. And if you land in one of those zones and there's another team there, you're going to fight. There's no avoiding each other. You'd have to run to one of the other zones, which generally at Lava Siphon, all of them are landed on. So
Yeah.
you're not
Yep.
getting away. If you want to leave, you need to fucking just leave, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, all right. Well, let's do the intro for real quick. Hi, everybody. This is the Players Take, episode 214. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, and my co-host, as you always, Montrell Rice. Let me just do the whole thing. Just get it out of the way here. So, for those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01 at gmail.com. All right, Montreal. So the other thing I wanted to say, we'll just get into games we're playing,
Yeah, yep.
right into it. But the other thing I wanted to say, not playing multiplayer this week, is I actually feel less tired. Like literally, like I feel pretty fresh right now, compared to the last like couple months.
Yeah.
um, I think it's interesting when you're in it, playing it every day, playing these games every day, that you don't realize how much these games take out of you. Um, because they are mentally draining,
Yes.
for
I
sure.
wholeheartedly agree.
They
Especially
take
League of Legends.
Yes, they take a lot of energy, and well, I don't hate that. It's just I think that's the thing though. I don't. That's why I can't. I don't think I can do it every day. Eventually, I think I got to the point. I think last week I just hit a point where I just started feeling run down, and
Yeah.
I needed to recover, Um, so so yeah, that's kind of the other interesting thing I noticed this week. But so do you want me to talk about what I'm playing, or you want to go first this week?
I can go first.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I played Apex a little bit, but not really. Since Thursday, I think we played it, and then Friday, I think I played it, and then Saturday I went dark. Same with like League of Legends. I haven't touched Wulong or Hogwarts. I plan on jumping back. Well, actually, I
Yeah.
plan on jumping back to Dead Space, so that should be on the list. That's my next tackle.
Yeah.
Um, I played Diablo 4 this weekend, and I actually really love Diablo. I love what I played so far. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen in the future. I'm not a big fan of the loot because it looked like they went with the Destiny route, but I mean, like that's every game nowadays, so I can't really complain about that to be honest with you. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Well.
but
Yeah.
I am a fan of the builds. So I was only like level 20, and I already saw like 4 builds I can do with my
Yeah.
rogue, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was thoroughly impressed because I was only level 20. We didn't even get our ultimate or anything like that, so it's
Hmm.
like I'm impressed with that alone. And the gameplay was really fun. I had fun just playing solo. Like I was on the mic. We were all in Discord playing the game, but we were playing solo worlds, and I was just having fun playing that shit. I think the world is interesting. The story so far is really good for me, at least. I'm
Hmm.
not like a Diablo connoisseur. The last Diablo I played heavily was I did play 3, but I didn't play it for the story. The last one I played for the story was 2. So to me, this one has the creep factor of 2. Like the world is very brutal in 4. It's
Yeah.
not like a playground or anything like that, story and like mood wise. Even when I was fighting some of the bosses though, like I was like, whoa, okay, now I'm getting fucking hit. I need to start dodging and shit like that. Um, so
Right. Right.
and kiting and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I felt I liked it. I don't know about the Diablo, try or diehards, but I
Well,
loved it.
Jet. I think Andy was telling me Jet told him that he loved it. Like he's really into it. So
Yeah.
Um, I think he's on board. I'm on board. I didn't play too much. I played a few hours on Friday, and I think I got to level 10.
Hmm.
And I didn't pick it up back up for the rest of the weekend because I just wanted to dip my toe in and get a feel for it. And I got enough out of it on Friday that I was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. If everybody else is in, I'm in on this game. Like I think
Yeah,
it looks
I'm definitely in on this game.
it. Yeah, it feels good. Um, I'm with you. I think a lot of the belly aching online about it, I just don't understand. I'm like genuinely puzzled. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
I think like people are hating on this game, and like I'm wondering if this is just the way Blizzard's going to be treated now, which is fine, I guess. Like I mean they don't necessarily deserve to be lauded the way they used to, but I also don't think it's fair the way the game has been treated though online. I think people are being really harsh to it for no reason. I think a lot of the complaints I've seen just don't, like, they're not making a lot of sense to me, that they're because there's people saying that like the leveling is like feels just as pointless as it did in 3, and that it doesn't have like choices. It still doesn't have choices the way Diablo 2 did, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like
I
like you,
don't
I look
like
through
that
the
the
skill trees.
world's
I look through the skill trees, and I'm like, there's multiple paths you can take here. Like I can play a
yeah.
range rogue, I can play a melee rogue, I can play traps. Like
Yep.
maybe they're not all going to be viable, but I mean,
There's still you can still do them,
they're
yeah. Like
options, right? Yeah,
and I will say I don't like that the world scales with you, but I guess it makes
Mm.
sense that the world scales with you so that if you want to go back and do older content that you missed out on, you can go back and do it.
And it still
Um
has purpose, yeah. I'm
yeah,
okay with
so
that too. I think it makes sense within the context too. I mean, this is a dangerous world full of fucking demons and shit. Like, I don't think it should ever get to a point where it's like safe, like where you feel
yeah,
like things can't hurt you.
yeah.
So I actually don't mind that within that context, but
But
in
to
terms
say
of
leveling doesn't feel good or it
yeah,
doesn't matter, no, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. There was a significant difference between me being level 10 and me being level 15. Like I felt
yeah,
that difference, you
yeah.
know? Um
Yeah, I didn't quite
I
get there, but I could see how it was playing out, and I was like, okay, I think I get. I think because I think the early game is going to be really interesting because the early game kind of almost incentivizes you to kind of spread your points out
yes,
early
it does.
and
Yep.
get a bunch of abilities. But I think there's going to come a point in the 10 to 20 range where you actually need to start consolidating your points into those abilities, where you're like leveling those skills up rather than getting
hmm
more skills. You kind of get your like core 3 or 4 that you want to use, and then you put your points into them to maximize how good they are.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be the strategy while you're leveling, um, but that's cool. I think that's I mean that kind of reminds me of Grim Dawn. Like that's the way Grim Dawn is. You pick your skills out early, you spread yourself quickly, and then once you've got your core skill set out, you start pumping your points into those skills to get them as high as you can. So I think that makes sense to me. And then the equipment, I didn't get far enough to really see the equipment flesh out. So I don't have a ton to say there. But I think there was I got to kill Vashad or whatever the fuck the city is called, the first city you go to.
Yeah.
And there's there seems to be enough systems in the game where I'm intrigued because there's the Paragon system, which we didn't have access to, that unlocks at level 50, it looks like. And then there's gear upgrading through the blacksmith. I don't know what that is, if that's just like a pure power upgrade or like armor upgrade or what. I don't know what that looks like, but it's something, it's there. And then there was one other system that you get these like marks or something like that you can turn into a vendor that will get you some sorts of rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm already seeing bits and pieces of something coming together that I think there's enough here that I'm interested to try it out, play the game and give it its fair shot. It plays really well. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
The
That's like
yeah,
the biggest thing. Yeah.
yeah, the feelings from Diablo 3 are yeah, it's like
Definitely there. Yeah.
definitely there, right? Yeah, and I think that is going to be a huge boon to this game no matter what people think about the leveling and the RPG mechanic side of the game. But I think that's the other part I want to say though is I think judging this game either way, good or bad, at this point is
Yeah.
really it's kind
Really
of a
scary.
no, it's just like like I think you're I think people are being jumping to the gun too much here because there's just so much we don't know, you know?
Yeah,
We don't know what
exactly.
Endgame looks like. We have no idea. Like extrapolating what was in this beta to the end to Endgame is impossible. I don't think you're gonna see what the real Endgame is. Yeah, sure, running dungeons is gonna be part of the Endgame, but like I mean, there will be other activities, assuredly,
Well,
and yeah,
one of our friends was complaining about the lack of randomized dungeons, and I was like, okay, I can see why you're upset about that, because that does add a level of variety to the game.
I
But
just don't
once
think it
I
does.
put,
So
you know,
no,
I
it's
as
always been a fallacy in my opinion. I like what Diablo 2 does with randomized dungeons and other games I've played with randomized dungeons because Diablo 3 had randomized dungeons too. The tile sets get just as boring as like you get used to the tile sets like
yeah, you
of the
start to
dungeons you're
know,
running.
like you can know like the first 2 minutes of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what tile set this is or whatever because you'll
Yeah,
start to run
right.
into each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but my thing is like the dungeons that I did come into in this game were so fucking big. I don't want them to be randomized. They
Yeah,
were
I know.
fucking huge, bro. I was
No,
like,
which is
yo,
good though. That's
yeah,
good.
it
See,
is.
dude, no, again, this is another thing that reminds you of Grim Dawn, right? Grim Dawn is not randomized at all. Everything is painstakingly created by hand, right? in that game, all the environments, and the dungeons in Grim Dawn are fucking huge. Like they're not really dungeons per se. Like there are dungeons. I guess let me back up. Um Grim Dawn, like what you would consider a dungeon in Grim Dawn, is kind of just like an area you're traversing through to get to the next area. So it's part of the game world, like going through the
Mhm.
story. But these areas are massive, and it seems like Blizzard has taken that kind of tack with Diablo 4 is they're making the areas big. They're wide. They have a lot to explore. There's a lot of different ways to go. Like when you get to Kyovashad, you can go in like 4 different directions. Like it's fucking crazy. I was like totally overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do first. So which I don't think that's a bad thing though. Like I think that's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
for a game like this because Diablo 3 was totally linear. Like there was no choice whatsoever. You just went down the marked path and that was it. And it was totally randomized also. Like everything in Diablo 3 was like pretty much randomized. So that game was the epitome of the randomized element and I didn't like that. I don't mind if they kind of married the two and had a happy medium, but I'm totally okay if things aren't randomized. So that, like, because having played Grim Dawn, dude, I'm not there to look at the environments as I'm running around. I'm there to kill shit and get loot. Like that's what you're playing the game for. Like if you're running a dungeon in Destiny and it's the same dungeon or strike or whatever, and it's the same strike every time, do people get bored of that? No, they don't. I've never heard anybody complain about that. Like it's like you know what you're in
They
for when you're playing these kind of games. Like it's a
Yeah, they
grind.
used to
It's
complain about it
repetitive, you
when
know?
Destiny first came out, but then I
Yeah.
think when people realized like Destiny is pretty much a shooter Diablo style game,
Yeah.
uh yeah, it strikes, and people figure out the fastest way to do the strikes, and they do their raid, or their raids are pretty much raids, but like their strikes and their dungeons and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what you do. Um, and I don't know. I when I was playing Destiny in Destiny 2, like I was like heavy into that shit. Like I was like, okay, I gotta do my dailies. I got
Yeah.
before the reset happens on Tuesday, and I gotta
Yeah.
at least do one or two raids, whatever
Hmm.
the case may be. So
Yeah, I mean
I
that's
don't
what these
know.
games are, man. They're
Yeah.
repetitive, grindy games. Like I don't, you're not like that's my point. Like procedurally generated dungeons, aka randomized, or like handmade ones. They're both repetitive. Ultimately, they're both going to be repetitive. Like it doesn't really matter. You're doing the same fucking thing every time you go in there. Like it doesn't make a difference. This is what I think. This is why I get funny, like hung up with people on like when people get hung up on graphics. Like most games, you'll notice graphics when you initially boot the game up. But I most people I feel like after the first 20 minutes, once you're in the game and you're playing it, you're not paying attention to that shit anymore. Like it's just part of the game. You're like not even. It's like totally subconscious. You're not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I don't think this will be another Anthem situation. Because that's why I've been keeping my mouth
There's
shut on like,
no way. There's no
yeah,
way.
that's what,
No.
and that's what really I was scared of, right? I was hoping this wouldn't be an Anthem situation,
No.
because we really liked Anthem. Like that beta we played, we were like, oh my god, this shit, the story, the lore, everything was like there, and then once we got the game, it was like, oh shit, this is actually just the game right here, the beta. But
Yeah, no, with what we saw, because they showed us the entire continent too. You could see that in the beta,
yeah,
in the map, and it's huge. It's gigantic, dude. Like there's a ton of areas, and so I think this game's gonna have a lot of content. I think I think it's going to, the end game at launch may be repetitive and might not have enough for people. I can
yeah.
totally see that, but the game at its core, I don't think this game's gonna flop like that.
Oh no, I think the game, they're going to have to release content within the first 2 months. I think that's going to be the main thing. But I think everybody, including us, um, I don't know if we were younger or if we just didn't have enough time on our hands or we weren't optimal. But I don't remember like World of Warcraft coming out. I don't remember like EverQuest coming out. Well, I wasn't playing EverQuest like that. I'll stick to World of Warcraft. I don't remember World of Warcraft, and I came in Burning Crusade. I don't remember people complaining about the in-game content that much. I don't remember people complaining about the lack of in-game content. And I feel like if that game had it came out today, people would complain that it's not enough content. If that makes any sense,
I think the thing with
or
those
am I
games,
wrong?
Well, I'm thinking about World of Warcraft because I was around for launch. I think gaming is different now than it was back then. Gamers
Hmm.
are different than they were back then, including us. We blow through games so fast. You know,
Yeah.
that's like the meta for playing video games is being efficient and beating games quickly. Um, I'm not really that player. I've never really been the kind of guy who just blows through a game and drops it in a few days. I always take my time and I'm like super thorough and it's like obnoxious. Like I'm trying to beat Fire Emblem right now and it's taking me fucking forever because I'm so meticulous with it. But that's just the way I play. But most people don't play like that anymore. I think back in when World of Warcraft and like EverQuest came out, people were much more inclined to smell the roses in those games, where you were
Okay.
enjoying the moment to moment of the game more, and you just took your time a little bit more to do things. You know, you weren't rushing to get to max level. You know. Or you weren't rushing to get through end game trying to get the best gear imaginable. Some people were, and ultimately those are the people I think that ruined World of Warcraft and probably have ruined gaming in general. Is that's where it started was actually World of Warcraft in my opinion. But
Hmm.
that mentality I don't think was there early on in WoW's life as much. And even though it was, people weren't good enough at the game to blast through it the way they do now. Because think about WoW Classic, right? People beat Molten Core in fucking like a couple days after fucking servers went live. You know, like that's how figured out that game is. You know,
Yeah.
that was not a thing at all when WoW came out. It took like a month or more for anybody to beat Molten Core. You know.
So that's actually my question then, I guess. I mean, because we don't have a topic. I mean, we only have one news cycle this year, this episode, y'all. So this is probably gonna be like a discussion, talky talk episode.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I guess that's my question. Like, is it the way games are designed, or is it the way gamers are wired, or is it because how we've been conditioned, or is it
I think it's the way
like
gamers are wired. You
I,
know.
I do remember playing WoW and just playing the game, and sometimes I didn't even play it to play it. I was just like amazed by how big this fucking like I'm actually playing in the game with somebody. I'm in fucking at the time I was in
Yeah.
Michigan, so I was
Running
like I'm in
around just
Michigan, and this person may
yeah.
be in Texas or
Yeah.
the UK or something like that, and I'm like playing with them. Like that was just like fucking mind blowing. I remember playing fucking RuneScape and thinking that shit, and
Yeah.
like RuneScape is not the best game ever, but it was just crazy. And I wasn't trying to be optimal. The only thing I was trying to be optimal in, especially in RuneScape, was like getting money in my jobs and my crafting. That was what I was optimal in. But as far as everything else, I was like exploring the game and loving the game and everything like that nature. And, I mean, not to like go into another subject, but like Resident Evil 4, right? The remake I'm playing, I beat yesterday actually.
Psycho.
But you said what?
Psycho.
Yeah,
This
so
man got this game on fucking Saturday and he beat it by Wednesday. And
but let me
he worked this week.
yeah, I did. But let me defend myself. So normally you can beat a normal Resident Evil game within
Hmm.
5 to 8 hours,
Okay.
give or take. You can normally beat it like that. I was doing it in a way. First of all, the game, if you get Resident Evil 4, it's going to tell you hardcore mode. Like, oh, this is recommended for people who played the 2005 version. Don't do that shit. Go with standard. I nearly killed myself playing this fucking game in hardcore. Uh, because hardcore mode requires you to know the system, upgrade all your weapons because the zombies or the villagers are beefy as shit. Uh, you have to learn the systems. You have to get every treasure on the map so you can upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. It's meant for you to actually survive. And that's how I was playing. I was like, oh, fuck, I actually have to survive. And every encounter felt really stressful. So I had
Hmm.
to, they have stealth in the game now, so you can stealth take out people. So I was stealthily taking out people. So the game took a lot longer. So that 24 hours that I posted is actually long as fuck. It's probably the longest I ever played a Resident Evil game because I was going through every nook and cranny looking for every piece of gear or every piece of
Hmm.
bullets and everything in that nature, so that I can get to the next encounter and everything. Or if I didn't come into an encounter with a new enemy type or something like that, I guess it's not particularly new, but they changed the way they interact with things and everything of that nature, updated it. Um, it was just I had to learn how to navigate, and then everything hits like a fucking truck. So I get hit like one time, and one third of my fucking health is gone, or
Yeah.
half of my health is gone, or whatever the case. So I would have to navigate, and I would die and try again and everything like that. So 24 hours is actually pretty fucking long for a Resident
Yeah.
Evil game.
Yeah.
Um, so I did take my time with the game, but there are people out there who are the game's only been out for a couple of days, and they already have, they beat the game in 5 hours on professional mode, which is the hardest mode. They beat them in 5 hours. They already did it. They already figured out how to do the fastest speed run and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like I took my time with the game, and it made me actually appreciate the hardcore mode and the survival element of Resident Evil a lot more. Like I think in future I want to play my Resident Evil games on probably the hardest difficulty, because like that I the second to hard or the hardest difficulty, because I feel like the game is kind of meant to be played like that. It's an actual survival horror. I was genuinely scared of like these monsters or these villagers I was coming across, because not because they were like scary, but because I'm like, fuck, if I encountered them wrong or if they take me out, if I get surrounded, that's it for me. I'm done. Like
Yeah.
all the cool moves that Leon can do, that shit doesn't fucking matter, because like you can get fucking taken out
The
quickly.
parrying
You know,
chainsaws doesn't matter.
yeah, like that. So like when you use your knife has a durability. It can get repaired by the merchant, but you have a durability on the knife. So like in hardcore mode, like my durability, if I parried like 5 attacks from people, my knife was like gone until I upgraded it, and then I can parry a lot more
Wow.
once I
Okay.
upgraded it. But
Yeah.
like at the beginning of the game, yeah, if I parried like two, like I think it was about 4 or 5 times, especially the chainsaw. I think I could parry like chainsaw like twice, and that was it. My knife was gone. And then you can pick up like other knives across, like little butter knives or boot knives and everything like that. But those are like disposable. So like you can parry stuff with it, but then they'll be gone. So I just had to learn how to navigate, and survive and stuff like that. In the first encounter in the game, when you're in the village, that's like that sets the tone for the rest of the game. That's probably the hardest encounter in the game, next to some other points in the game. Hardcore mode, I died 12 times in that village because I
Wow.
would I they surround you. The AI knows where you're at. I mean you can sneak around the village and get certain things, but once everyone spots you, they will use tactics and like go other routes to cut you off to kill you. So
Yeah.
like I had to like kind of learn that shit and everything. So um I don't know. I think the game was designed for it. Fucking frustrated the hell out of me. Like you can ask Deanna, I was fucking pissed. Even though I was fucking pissed at the game, I think the game was still crafted beautifully. They changed enough shit to where I didn't even know where the story was going at certain points. Like
Oh yeah. Wow.
yeah, they took the route where like yeah, they just took a route. They took different routes to get to the same point, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So there'll be key moments that you remember in your head, but they just took totally different routes to get to those key moments and stuff like that. And then sometimes they even changed the key moment, or they changed the order of the key moment and where it came into the game. Um, and then they expanded some areas of the game and everything of that nature, and opened it up, like the lake area. Like that's almost like a damn near open world game once you get to that area, because you can explore certain elements of certain areas of the lake, and they have different little land masses that you can go to and explore and stuff like that.
Mm.
So the game, I was very skeptical of the game, yes, and I went dark on the game because I did not want to learn everything about this game. And I think going dark on a game like this was probably the best experience I ever had, because this was like almost akin to Dead Space. I don't think Dead Space went in depth with the remake, but it's a really good remake. But this game truly remade Resident Evil 4. Like it's damn near a different game, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Um, I did like how they for Leon, like he's more serious, but he still has the old qualities of Leon. He makes his one-liners and they make sense and everything, and relevance to what's going on. And like you still feel like that corny badass of Leon that was in Resident Evil 4, but it's like in a more serious manner. And it actually fits the tone, and like it's still the same old Leon that we love. He's just a little bit more serious. And a less sexual harassy and uh but yeah, I don't
uh,
know. because both of them, like both him and Ash, were like flirting with each other hardcore in the original game. But that was like in 2005. Like that's what the games were back then. And no, it doesn't make it right, y'all. But I'm just saying that's what games were back then. But like, yeah. Uh, but getting back to my main point of like games being super fast and stuff like that, or gamers being the most efficient way, I think beating Resident Evil after you beat it the first time, trying to find the most efficient way is okay. That's cool. But I think going through it in your first playthrough, just trying to be the most efficient, trying to hurry up and blast through the game, you're really doing yourself a disservice. And I think a lot of games are like that. I think that's why it takes me so long now to beat certain games like Fire Emblem and how you were saying, even Hogwarts and everything, because I want to really learn the game and learn certain things. I don't want to be the most efficient. I don't want to look up the best fucking Hogwarts build. Oh, like I don't want to do that shit. Like I,
Dude,
I
if you're
want to.
doing that, come on, man. Just
I mean, people do that. Like
play the game,
I
bro. No,
and,
it's
and
just it's not a hard game though. Like just play the game, like it's like oh my god. Like in Fire Emblem I get it. The game's
yeah,
complicated,
I was just about to say like Fire Emblem is
Yeah.
like really complicated, so I
Yeah.
understand that. But like yeah, for like Hogwarts or something like that or whatever.
But
Uh,
Even Fire Emblem, dude, you don't have to do it. You don't have to look anything up. Honestly, you don't even have to invest in the skill system at all. I've played through this entire game on a hard classic, and I have inherited one skill the entire game from an Emblem Ring. One fucking skill I've inherited, and I just did it today. Like, so you don't. And I'm on chapter 24. I'm about to be on chapter 24. Like, I'm playing on a really hard difficulty in the game and it's been fine. So if you're playing on normal casual, bro, you don't need to look anything up. Okay, just play the goddamn game.
See, I'm playing on hard
Um,
classic because that's how I like my Fire Emblems. So it's
dude,
like,
it's oh my god, I'll get into it, but oh man, Jesus,
yeah,
they
I
went
don't know.
hard with this one. I'm
Yeah, I
not
feel like
gonna
I
lie.
feel like this Fire Emblem is a really a GBA title. Like they really wanted to make this a Game
Yeah,
Boy title.
yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I think just gamers just need to be a little bit more patient.
Well,
And I don't know if arbitrarily making a game more slower paced is the answer. I think we
no,
as gamers have to change our
what they've done is what we always talk about. It's game bloat. They've bloated the
yes,
scope of games and added so much content that you can't rush through it. There's too much to do.
yes, yep.
you know and I think that's the wrong answer to this shit. Because it's frustrating because that just scares me away from games now. Like I don't want to play a 100-hour fucking game every game I play. It's frustrating. I love the idea of Resident Evil being like a fucking 10-hour game. That's great. But in the world today, no way, dude. That would not fly. People got like Resident Evil 3. I remember when that came out a couple years ago. It was like 5 hours, and people were pissed. That one got
Yeah.
fucking killed for that. So and that's just it's just like it's like
But
it's
the original
annoying.
Resident Evil, if you beat it, if you're efficient, you can beat that game in like 4 hours, 3 hours,
Right.
even. So
Well,
like,
that's like the idea of like Star Fox. Think about Star Fox right now, right?
oh my
From
god,
back in
that
the
game would
day.
get
The game
killed. Oh
takes an
my god.
hour. The game takes like an hour or an hour and a half to like full complete it.
But it's meant to
Like
be
one.
replayed.
No, I know. But imagine that kind of game I don't think could live today. I don't think people would be satisfied with it in that structure. And honestly, good Star Fox games haven't come out in a long time, but the ones that have come out though, people hate them. Like they don't like them not only for the controls, but I remember Star Fox Assault. People hated that game.
Mhm.
And it's like it's actually not a bad game. Like I don't think it's a terrible Star Fox game. I think it's better than people give it credit for, but like I think part of it is that lack of content. It doesn't take that long to beat it. Like Star Fox 64 is so short.
Didn't it
Um
have an on foot section assault?
Yes, that's what people
Okay,
hated about it.
that's what
Yeah.
people hate about it. Yeah,
And it
I think
was
if
it
the
was
controls are, I think if the controls are better, people will love it. Like
now.
Star Fox Assault today, I think would
Yeah,
actually be fucking sick as fuck.
I would take that. I will take that. If a game of that caliber comes out for Star Fox, I will be happy with it. I will just be happy that I have a Star Fox game that's decent. Like just something, man. But to bounce off your point though about efficiency, right?
Mhm.
I was thinking about this while you were talking. Is the reason why I play Genshin Impact in games like it, and I think why a lot of people play Genshin Impact in games like it is because it is intentionally grindy. You cannot rush through it. It is not a game. You can't beat it. Like it doesn't like I like dude, I've been playing this game for 6 months, right? Since I came back to it, and I am still nowhere near the point of maxing my party out. Like I'm not even close. I still have so long to go. It's like I mean, obviously it's artificial. Like they don't let you grind every day. Like you have to do it every day. You have an allotment of resin that you have to spend, and it regenerates over time. So it's like it's a mobile game in that way, in that regard. But
Mhm.
I am okay with that though. I don't need to blow through this game all at once. I like the idea of doing this over time. It feels really good to get to the point where your party is kick ass when you started out and your party was like terrible, like couldn't kill anything. And it's like a drip feed over time. And I think this is why this is kind of why I think people like mobile games, why mobile games are actually so popular, is they have that same mentality, right? Like Clash of Clans or gotcha games, they're all grindy, they're all super grindy, they all take forever to get to the end, like to the point that it's almost impossible to do it. And I think that's why people play them though, because I think the normal mentality is just blow through shit. So they do that with their single player games, but they come to these other games for that grind, that kind of endless, more slow paced. You take your time, you're patient. I think that's kind of where that stuff goes, for a lot of people. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have seen the trends of people playing single player games a lot more slowly. Like they're doing their multiple playthroughs, they're losing certain shit and everything of that nature. Um, but I don't know. It just seemed like for the last 10 years, it just been um, you know, beat these 8 hour games in the most efficient way you possibly can. Or oh, I beat
yeah,
Sephiroth, fast as fuck, y'all. Like it's Final Fantasy VII remake or whatever. I don't know. It's just really weird. To play some of these games. And I think that's why people do play games on the hard mode. Because people will always ask, like, why do you guys play on the hard mode and get frustrated? And it's like, because the game, I want to learn how to use every system the game has in store for me. I
yes,
want to fully use the games to
right,
its fullest potential. Um, and like, yeah, like Devil May Cry and those type of games. The reason I replay those games because you have to constantly learn and stuff like that. The reason why people play Wulong and Near and all this, not Near, but
Neo and Dark
Neo
Souls.
and Dark Souls and stuff like that is because yes, in Dark Souls you can play naked run and you can beat the game with just the club and shit like that. But it's
Level
like
one.
level one, and you can do that in Kingdom Hearts and shit like that. But I don't know, it was just fun to play those games. And I remember the reason why people were talking about Kingdom Hearts the other day is because it was his 21st Kingdom Hearts 2 rather. I think it was his 21st anniversary. We're old as fuck, y'all. Oh, and by the way, Justin, did you know Battle of Gods is 10 years old? Dragon Ball Z. I didn't know that
That
shit.
sounds about right, actually,
That's insane to me.
which is
Like
crazy, but yeah.
I still remember when that shit
Yeah,
first game
dude,
dropped.
10 years of Dragon Ball Super.
That's insane. But yeah, so like Kingdom Hearts, we were talking about that, and I don't know if I was talking about it with you or somebody else. Um, but yeah, that game is just it's just fucking fun. It is what it is with that game. And you can be efficient and like do all this extra shit and be it the fastest, or you can just like take it in for what the fuck it is and just play the fucking game. And I think that's my approach to gaming now, like especially since I'm older. But I think that's because I'm an older gamer. That's always been the way us, the boomer gamers as they call them, that's the way we've been playing games. Like we didn't have the luxury back in the day to go out and buy games instantaneously or get them at the tip of your fingertips instantly. Like if
Right.
you had Sonic or Mario, you played that shit to the depth to the fucking cartridge
For
wouldn't even
like
work
4
anymore.
months straight. That was the only game you were playing, dude.
Exactly.
Like you couldn't afford the next game, or there wasn't a next game to afford. They didn't come out that
Exactly.
fast. Like
Exactly.
like we were dude, like think people should go look at release lists per week for like
Oh my
90s
god.
games or early 2000s games, or even dude, even the PS3. There are weeks at a time where no video games came out. Can you guys imagine that for a second? Because that's not the world we live in. Uh
That's
yeah.
insane to me now, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the idea of going a week without a single video game coming out is it doesn't happen anymore. It's just literally doesn't happen. Like But yeah, no, that was commonplace back in the day. Like that was normal, dude. I would get fucking like Donkey Kong 64 or whatever, and then the next game I would play probably wouldn't be for 3 months after that. You know, um,
Yeah, like imagine you if people don't understand, like, oh, I got a bad game. Oh well, suck it up, champ. You gotta play the
I'm
game
playing it
until you.
anyways, man. I beat Donkey
Yeah.
Kong 64. Fuck you, fuck y'all. I hate that game, but yeah, I beat that shit out of that game. Like I got fucking every banana. Like fucking
If people don't understand, like we didn't have like I mean I had a car. But once I did get a car, I could take the game back and buy another game or something like that, or get my store credit back or whatever. But it was like, yeah, once I got that game and I went home and played in my PlayStation, like that was it, man. I had to play that shit no matter how trash it was or whatever, because you know what? Say if I was 13, y'all, and I bought a game and I like Gex, so don't kill me for this. But I say if I bought Gex and I fucking hated Gex, I
mm,
couldn't tell my mom, I know you just spent $40 for this getting me for a good report card, but I fucking hate this game and I want to take it back. She'll look at me crazy like, oh, do you have $40 money to take it back and
yeah,
gas money to go up there and do it? Like, no,
yeah,
I had to play Gex and I had to love Gex. Even though I probably didn't like Gex. I did like
yeah,
Gex. I'm just saying as an example. But
yeah,
like, yeah, but there are certainly games like Digimon World 2. Fucking hate that game. That game's fucking terrible. I don't like that game. I fucking hate Digimon World 2. This is the worst Digimon game I've ever fucking played in my
oh
life.
shit,
I will
yeah,
put that on my life. Uh, I have over 200 hours in that game on my memory card back in my grandma's house right now. 200 hours. I beat the fuck
yeah,
out of Digimon World 2.
yeah,
I got every evolution in Digimon World 2. I fucking hate that game, but I bought it. So I used my allowance money, or I was cutting grass and I bought the game or whatever. I was like, oh my god, Digimon World 2, I can get mega evolutions and everything now. Oh my god, yes. And I
yeah,
got it and I fucking hated it. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to make the best out of this shit. And I think now we just have too many options. And that's not a
yeah.
bad thing. It's just, that's the way the world is now.
Consumer culture,
Yes.
consumer. You know, like
Yeah.
it's it. I think that's the crux. That's the root of the whole conversation. Is that there is too much content now, so people feel compelled to get through shit as fast as possible so they can go to the next thing.
Well, they
Um,
don't have to learn how to get through shit. Like, say for instance, you're Xander's age or something like that, right? If you don't like the latest Sonic game that came out, I can just go play Fortnite, and that'll hold me over until something else comes out
mhm,
that grabs my attention. You know,
right.
not blaming
Yeah.
Fortnite or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I can play
No, I
Apex
mean, there's
Legends
just
or
so
whatever
many
the
ways
fuck.
to use your time, though. It's like
Yeah,
I mean, really, there isn't an idea that yeah, that's the one game you're gonna get for the next 6 months. Like, no, bro, there's a game coming out every fucking week. You'll probably like, you know, you just need to find it, you know. So, but that's the other thing. There are people who are very good, who are like have a wide breadth of games they're interested in, and dude, they're probably playing a game a week. You know, they're trying to play a game a week, and that's fine. I don't begrudge anybody doing that. But just it's just I think it's overall a little much as a culture, as gamer culture. Like I don't feel like we smell the roses as gamers. I think we just
yeah.
blow through these games. Like I am commonly way behind the like the popular game. Like it took me 3 months to beat Horizon last year, Forbidden West, whereas most people
That
were done
game
with
was
it
just
after a week or
is
two.
long as fuck though. Like
I know.
that's an example of a game that understands the culture today, so they put as much shit as they can in
Yeah,
one
that's why I
game.
struggle with it so much because it's just dude, I don't like. I just wish that game. I said it last year. I kind of wish that game was linear. Like the open world didn't even exist. It was just a linear game. I feel like I would have enjoyed it more. But uh, so I don't know. We're just old men screaming at clouds at this point,
I
man.
don't I don't think so. I think there's a set of younger people. They just don't know it. I feel like they just don't understand it. Because they always had this content, available to them. Like if you're like 15, 16, 17, even 20, 25, you always had like a constant steady flow of games coming out for you. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, to be
I'm
honest,
just
like
thinking
you
about.
all,
I'm thinking about. Sorry. Finish your point. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
like, but like, say for instance, but then you get that one good game that comes out, right? Like Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy 7 Remake,
Yeah.
and that game. is what it is. 25 hours, 30 hours maybe, and that's it. We're not trying to bloat anything. You get the
Yeah.
story, you get a quality story, you get a quality combat action system. This is what you get, and that's it. I think people appreciate that more than say no shade at Assassin's Creed. I'm just using the example, y'all. Like Valhalla or whatever. Even though I know a lot of people love Valhalla, that game, or I wouldn't say Valhalla because I didn't play it, but I'll say Odyssey. We both played that one. You get a game like Odyssey, which is a really good game, but it's just when we zoomed out, it's at least 200 or 300 worth
No,
hours
it's
worth
like
of
they
content.
literally were trying to fit real life Greece into their video game. Like it was that large. I almost like I remember I was 20 hours in, dude, and I had done the intro island, and I had done the first big zone and done the story content there where I think you like meet your father or whatever
Yeah.
and realize he's like still alive. And then I went to the zone after that, and I think I was 15 or 20 hours into the game at this point. And I'm like, okay, 3 zones. I'm like, all right. I start zooming out and looking around. I'm like, how big is this game? And I'm like, oh my fucking god, there's like 25 more zones to go. Are you kidding me right now? Like, holy fuck, you know? And just yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I'll throw some shade at like God of War though. That's like another example of a
Oh
game
yeah,
like
yeah.
it had way too much shit in it. It didn't need to be as big as it was, you know?
Way too much shit. But then
And
people would complain that it didn't have enough shit in it. I
yeah,
feel like if they didn't go
I don't
that
know.
route, they would have complained that it didn't have enough shit in it.
Yeah. Well, all this talking about, I was thinking about, that dude who listens, who's a pretty frequent listener and writes
Yeah.
in a lot. He's the guy that we're talking about though. He beats games like crazy, man. Like I see him tweeting about everything. He has this thread that he does every year where he lists out all the games he's beaten, and I think he's
Yeah.
already up to like fucking 15 games this year or something
Jesus Christ,
crazy. I'm
man.
like, man, oh, like,
It is
bro, you're
it
putting
is
us to shame, man.
and it's not like he doesn't go outside. He's
I know.
outside, he's partying all the time. I see it on
Yeah,
my timeline all the time. And
yeah.
like, yeah, he just comes back home, he plays his video game. So he has a
He's
life. And
yeah,
he plays it.
he's just
I just
pounding games out, man. So,
yeah, man.
but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just we play differently. I think than the majority. Um, I want to really be like I want to immerse myself in a game. You know, I
Yeah.
really want to understand it completely before I'm done with it. You know,
Yeah.
generally, I don't like to just get through a game and discard it. Generally, if I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
When I'm not, then I'll just get to the point where I'm like, all right, I need to beat this. I'm gonna beat it, and it's gone. You know, but that hasn't been happening that much the last couple of years. I feel like I've been really good about playing games I actually ended up liking. So I've just been more methodical and slow. You know, so
Well, I agree with you on every point that you said. Because just to piggyback off that, um, the reason why I play games more methodically, like you said, uh, you ever play a game and you discover years later you've been playing that game completely wrong? That was Devil May Cry for me. I
oh
I
no,
beat Devil May Cry 3 and 4
yeah,
and everything.
yeah,
And even 1 and 2. I hated 2. But 3 was really popped off for me. Um, I played that game and I beat it and I liked it for what it was. And even Devil May Cry 4, I played it and liked it for what it was. And this is about 2008, or I think it came out 2007, 2008. Devil May Cry 4. And I went on YouTube and I was just like, Devil May Cry, and I already beat it. And I just wanted to see something, how to get something. And then another YouTube recommended me like another video or something like mad combos or some shit like that. And I saw all the crazy shit people were doing in this game. And I'm like, I can do that in this game?
yeah.
And I went crazy trying to learn how to do this shit. And I went and I saw that people were doing it in Devil May Cry 3. And I was like, I didn't even know this was possible in Devil May Cry 3. And I went back and looked at it, and people were just doing the craziest shit. And it was like a known thing in the Devil May Cry community online. And I wasn't really like an online person like that back then. I was like not really into forums and stuff like that. Like I would be online, but I wouldn't be on forums and stuff like that. I would like go to GameFAQs or something like that. But then I start like looking into forums and stuff, and people are like, yeah, jump canceling, and how can I jump cancel into this and that's and that third. And I was just seeing all the crazy shit people were doing. And I'm like, I didn't know this shit was possible. And it was like purposely in the game. Like it was discovered by accident, Devil May Cry 3, and then they put it in there on purpose because on 4, because people wanted, which was jump canceling. They did it
Yeah.
like it for on purpose, and now it's like a staple in the series. And in the other action games, like they have animation cancels and all other stuff like that. It's a staple in the series now, but it's like, or in the genre rather. But it was like people had to play that game for hours, like literal hours. They didn't have another game to play because Devil May Cry 3. Let's just say Devil May Cry 3 that came out on the PS2. Like, I'm pretty sure people who discovered that, it was just like one kid who was playing the game who's like, man, I really love this game. And I'm not going to get another game for like another 6 months. So I'm just about to play the fuck out of Devil May Cry 3. And that's what he did. He discovered jump canceling. Then he told his friends in the block or in the forum somewhere online. And they're like, you can jump cancel? And he's like, yeah, watch this. Watch me record this video off my dad's fucking old ass fucking MP3 player phone or camera or whatever, and I'll put it online. And he probably did it and put it online or some shit. And people like going crazy over the shit. So it's that's what I mean. Like, we don't have those type of moments anymore because like that was a whole thing. Like the Pokemon thing was a whole thing. Like it was just a whole thing of discovering games and like playing every inch of the fucking game. I mean, people still do it, but like it's like pretty rare now, you know.
Yeah, I've definitely had those moments of playing, like realizing you're playing a game. Like Genshin, for instance, is a good example. I still, after playing this game as much as I have, I still don't play the game right a lot of the time. Like the way the elemental reaction system works in the game is so fucking complicated that I just like I don't do the sequencing of attacks correctly, and I ruin the reactions that I'm supposed to be trying to create. And just watching, I just don't have the wherewithal to like really think about it and put the time in. It's like not why I'm playing the game, you know. I'm not trying to be like an uber fucking meta pro, you know. So I don't care that much, and the game is easy enough that you don't really need to care most of the time. But yeah, it's just, like I definitely have done it with that game. Uh but yeah,
Well, like
definitely.
Genshin is a good example. Like I dare you. Actually, I don't even want to ruin it for you because you're gonna look at those videos and be like, what the fuck? I actually suck at this game. There are like combo videos of Genshin Impact that I'm just like, what? Like they're doing crazy shit.
Oh, I know. No,
So
I know all this stuff. It's just dude, the skill ceiling in the game is actually really high. Like people shit on Genshin's like combat and everything like that, but dude, I'm telling you, if you want to be good at it, like truly good at it, it actually is really hard.
yeah.
It's like you need to, not only do you need to have the right like timing and reaction time and the ability to play your characters right, the knowledge you need to have of the characters in your party, the artifacts that they need to have, the substats they need to have on those artifacts, the way their abilities work and interact with the other abilities in your character party, then the elemental reactions you have in your party and how those work, and how the character's abilities generating the elements you need, how those work, because they don't all work the same. Like generating wind on an enemy doesn't work the same for character A and character B. Like just because they're both generating wind, it might act differently for each character.
Hmm.
So that's how weirdly fucking specific and deep the game is. It's like I honestly argue to the point that it's a little broken. Like I think the game is actually kind of fucked up, because it's like case by case. Certain characters are better at like for instance, there's characters on launch from the launch window of the game that are like stupidly broken and overpowered, and they always have been, and they've never done anything about it because it's a gotcha game and they don't, you know, really balance characters in a gotcha game. But they've always been broken, and they've never really been able to release characters in those niches that beat the original characters that came out, like the base ones. Like for instance, there's this character named Jinhua, and his whole thing is just generating water, like the water element hydro on enemies, and his ultimate puts up these like water swords around your character. And the idea is you activate his ult, swap him out, and then the next character that you're playing with still has the water swords above them, and those shoot out at enemies every time that character attacks. So he's generating hydro, and you want to pair him with a character that will generate an element that will react off of it. But his application of hydro is the strongest in the game relative to everyone else. Like he's got better hydro application than some of the best fucking characters in the game. And he's like a 4-star, pretty easy to get character. From like the original launch window of the game too. It's hilarious. So like that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is another Hydro character? They actually released a 5-star Hydro that is very similar to him, does much higher damage than he does, but is not necessarily better in all circumstances because her Hydro application is not as consistent as his. So
Hmm.
he can put so much hydro that you can literally react off every attack you do with another character. Whereas the 5-star I mentioned, that's not as possible with her. Thus, as much as her damage is higher, her personal damage is higher, the reactions she's able to generate means the team's damage is lower. So overall, so she might not be the best for every team the way he is. Like he's so good, you can just slot him into any team and it fucking like almost doesn't matter. You know, so it like the game is weird like that. So that's always been my argument with Genshin is like people shit on it. I see people online always taking the piss out of it, like, oh, it looks like Genshin combat. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what Genshin combat is. Shut up. Like you
You
have
know
no
what?
idea what you're talking about.
I never
Like,
shit on Genshin's actually I don't think I ever shit on Genshin besides the gotcha factor. And I always said that. I said Genshin would probably be the perfect game for me if there wasn't a gotcha element to it.
yeah,
Um
yeah,
because I actually like the combat system a lot. I think the combat system, the
yeah.
exploration and everything like that, I actually
Yeah, like
like that
the
shit a
base
lot.
character control and attacking and things like that is fairly straightforward and basic. It's not
Yeah.
like anything special in that regard. It's everything I just talked about. That's what makes the game's combat special is all these things coming together is figuring out how to play the game properly. That's kind of the journey of Genshin Impact. Is that plus developing your party. And
Yeah.
then of course the story that I think is pretty decent overall.
Yeah, no,
So
I
yeah.
agree. I think the game. I actually like the game. Like I said, I actually need to go back and play it. Um,
Well,
because I liked it.
yeah. Andy got
Um,
into it. He told
oh
me.
shit. Oh my god.
I told him I'm like, "Oh no, dude. Oh no." I'm like, "Man, you shouldn't do this to yourself."
Well, I mean, I have a good self control, so I don't think I would be like buying stuff and everything. Well, I
I don't
lied
even
because I
think
just
that's the
bought yes.
problem. I don't even think that's the problem as much. While that is part of the problem with the game, it's not it's literally the fucking content in the game at this point. Dude, there's so much content in this game. I mean, you hear me every week talking about this game. I'm still trying to catch up. I've been playing it for 6 months. I was gone for a year and like 8 months, or 9 months. And there's so much content in this game that I'm still not caught up, 6 months later. Like it's
Well,
fucking crazy.
I think Genshin Impact and I mean we shit on pay to win games or not pay to win but free to play games all the time. We shit on monetization all the time, like me and you do. But then people, I feel like if we were bigger, people are like, well, how come you guys never shit on Genshin Impact or you never shit on Fortnite?
I
And
mean,
we
I
don't even
do
play
shit on
fucking
Genshin.
Fortnite.
I do shit on Genshin
You,
Impact.
well, I mean, yeah, we do shit
Yeah.
on it, but like there's a reason like Genshin Impact and Fortnite are the way they are, and the way they generate money is because I feel like they actually respect the consumer's time. Now, Genshin, that can be an oxymoron, like well, you got to buy this and you got to buy that, and you got to
Well,
just to get this 2% stat boost. But it's like
I've
you don't
always
have
said
to.
this. I've always said this about Genshin. You don't have to pay a cent in Genshin.
I was just about to say that,
The
yeah,
reason Genshin is a problem, in my opinion, is the second you start spending money, the money you're spending is not worth it. Like you don't get your money's worth from
yeah,
putting money into the game, in my opinion. As much as I'm saying this as somebody who spent money on Genshin Impact, I buy fucking characters. Like I'm not innocent in this regard. But
yeah,
the thing is, I'm going in eyes wide open though. I know what I'm doing. I'm not like fucking lying to myself. Like I know, like I'm just like I want this character. I'm fucking getting him. It's like
yeah.
um and but that's the thing. The game taking the gotcha element out is an extremely high quality video game. And I'll say the same thing about Fortnite. You take the monetization out of Fortnite, Fortnite at its base level, just a game
It's
to
still
play is an
a quality
extremely high
game.
quality game. Yeah, right. And that's why they're successful. The money aspect on top of it, that's how they're getting you guys. That's how they get us is that they made a good game. And then they put a monetization system around it and we get sucked into that because we love the game so much.
But I
Um
feel like that's worth it, right? Because it's a
I
free to
don't have a
play game.
problem with it as much. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But like then you take games like, and I don't want to shit on it too long or whatever, but then you get games like Madden, right? Where it's like they have a monetization element to it, not only are you paying to get into that element, but then you have to pay more to get more out of that element of the game. And I just don't feel like what you're paying out of the game, what my initial buy into the game, I don't feel like it's worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I also feel
Or
like the whole thing's a scam.
yeah,
Like Mutt to me is like one of the worst modes I think I've ever seen in a game, because it's like I don't understand what people find appealing about it, because bro, I can literally just go play franchise mode. I don't like, you can manipulate whatever you want. You know, it's like you can do anything you want in Madden, like for the most part. You can make players, you can fucking juice their stats up. So I don't understand what the appeal. It's dude, it's literally like the gambling chase. I feel like that's what it is with Mutt that people get addicted to. I don't think it's the gameplay mode really. Like there's nothing
yeah,
special about it. You're just playing the same game of Madden you play in franchise mode. It's just fucking like, pay to win. It's
yeah.
weird.
And,
I
and
don't
it's
know.
funny too because like people are like, well, people will ask me why don't you shit on 2K as much, and it's like I still feel like 2K is in regard to like the Fortnite and the Genshin Impact. There's a quality basketball game simulator there under like the
Yeah.
my player X and everything like that. Like you can play my player, not buy a single thing. You can play the
Right.
whole entire game and not it'll take a little bit longer to get to where you want to get your player to get to. But if I was to buy not Madden, but 2K right now, I don't play the My Park, which a lot of people play that put their player on My Park to play against other players. And that's where the monetization thing comes in because they want their players to be like 99 overall, or people won't even pick you up in the game if you're not, this stat, whatever the case may be. But I just want to play this story because I love the stories in my player in 2K and everything like that
Hmm.
because they're really good.
Yeah.
The
Right.
majority of them are really good. So it's like that's what I would get it for. And I feel like I'm actually playing. It's like almost like a mini franchise mode within the my player mode and everything like that because you have to pick endorsements for your player and all this other shit like that. So like, and even like MLB the Show, I like baseball a lot, to be honest with you. But MLB the Show takes the my player element of like MLB to the next level. And that's why I love that game. And I don't mind the monetization in that shit because it's like I'm getting a quality ass baseball game out of this shit. So it's like it's not like I want to get rid of microtransactions. I want quality shit behind the microtransactions or in
Right.
front of the microtransactions rather. If you give me a quality game, I'm going to spend money on it. Like
Right.
that's what it is. And I think players will instead of you trying to make a copy paste game and then try to milk it out of because I mean like look at Warzone 2, right? Everyone hates that game now. Part 2. They love Modern Warfare 2, but they hate Warzone Part 2 because it's terrible compared to Warzone 1 and even the Black Ops 5 fucking battle arena game. And it's like I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It's just really weird how, quality, meets more money, equals more money, but some companies really don't fucking or they're just now getting that. And it's like it took us what 13 years to get here. Like it took you
Yeah.
13 years to understand that
Yeah.
quality means more money, not quantity.
Right.
Like, so I don't know.
No, I agree. Um, totally. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is like, I think anybody that's listened to us, from the get go they would probably defend us in the sense that like I have talked about the negative aspects of Genshin Impact to an asinine degree. I don't need to talk about it every week.
Yeah.
So maybe I haven't brought it up in a while, but trust me, if you want to have a conversation about it, I will. Like there are negative aspects to the way Genshin Impact is designed,
Yeah.
and I don't like the gotcha system in Genshin Impact. I think it is severely overpriced. The amount of money you have to spend to guarantee yourself a character is crazy in that game. But what I will say is that as long as you control yourself and you're not trying to fucking chase every single character that comes out, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars a month on the game. Like honestly, it's you need to put in money here, money there, and just play the game, and you will
Yeah.
earn currency enough to where you can get the characters you want. That's kind of how I've been playing it. And I'm not spending that much money on the game. Like honestly, I pay for the battle pass that they have in the game, which is $10 every like 6 weeks or so, and then there's a monthly $5 login bonus that you can pay for, and I pay for
Okay.
those pretty much. And then occasionally when there's a character I want and I don't have the resources to get it, I will buy the currency. But I don't do that very often. Honestly, I'm at the point with Genshin that I have enough characters that I like that I like haven't even fucking maxed out yet. That I don't need more characters anymore, dude. I need to level up what I have and make them as good as they can be. Because yeah, getting more characters to me is like self-destructive. I'm like killing myself by doing that. So that's the
Yeah.
funny part about Genshin is the game is so grindy that getting 25 characters at once is horrific because it's going to take you months to fucking max those out. It takes a long time to max a character in that game. So yeah. Um, all right, we've been talking about that for a while, so I'm gonna finish. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? What you've been
No,
playing? Do you
that's
want
it.
to say anything else about Resident Evil?
No, that's it.
Okay. So other than that, for me, I've been playing Hogwarts some more. I am at the point with this game, unfortunately, that I think I'm just gonna beat it and move on, pretty much.
Okay.
So I think I'm only 8 or 9 missions from finishing it right now. So I'm gonna try to do that this weekend after I'm kind of mainlining Fire Emblem right now, actually. But I'm gonna get back to it, try to finish it off. It's nothing's really changed for me with it. It's the same as what I said last week. I think the story is it just kind of feels like they're trying to squeeze in as many cool Harry Potter things as they can, because some like a new element to the game got introduced in like the last story mission I was in, and it was like kind of cool, but I was like, man, you're just like, how is this even here? How has nobody fucking found this shit? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's a lot of the stuff they do in the game is hard to explain, would be very hard to explain in context to the game world, in my opinion. And if we ever do a spoiler cast on it, like we can kind of get into some of those things, but I don't want to spoil
Okay.
anything here, so I'm not going to say anything more. But Fire Emblem. So yeah, Fire Emblem Engage. I've been trying to beat this now. When I came back to it, I was at chapter 20. I am now on chapter 23. I'm at the tail end of that chapter. I'm about to finish the battle for that, and there's only 3 more chapters after that. So I'm pretty much at the point where I'm finishing this game out. I'm gonna beat these final 3 missions and I'm done. I'm not doing any more grinding. There's no more side battles. I'm not doing any more skirmishes. I finished all the paralogs yesterday. So I'm pretty much at the point where I'm just finishing this game off. But what I will say is we were talking about difficulty earlier, and yeah, playing this game on hard classic, like, dude, they fucking did not hold back with this game. It is bonkers like how difficult some of these battles can be when you are trying to beat them without losing a character. Because obviously in classic mode, permadeath is enabled. So anybody that dies is dead for good. And yeah, I just think the game is interesting because they have this mechanic, this new mechanic they introduced with this game where boss enemies in a battle will have these gems on them where they basically have multiple health bars. So you will kill them once and they will revive, full
Oh,
revive, like
yep.
get all their health
Mhm.
back. And later in the game, late game, a lot of the bosses you will fight will have 2 or 3 of these gems, and you will need to kill them
What?
4 times. Yeah, dude, I'm not fucking with you. It's fucking bonkers. So it's very interesting to have to play against that because these enemies they also didn't hold back in terms of pumping these guys stats. They are powerful. Like there is a battle in the middle of the game, I want to say chapter 17 or 18, where you fight 4 generals all in the same battle, and bro, when I tell you, they for the point in the game you're at, they are insanely powerful. I am not fucking with you. Like it was so hard to kill these guys, and they had the health bar. Like they had extra health bars too, like 1 or 2 each of them. And dude, it was like some of them. There was one in particular who was so tanky, I could barely kill him, like straight up barely kill him. And it was like it took everything I had to figure it out. If they didn't have the rewind feature in the game, I don't think this game would be possible to beat without losing a character. Like I would just throw it in the trash. I wouldn't even want to play this game if that shit wasn't in there. Which is funny coming from me because I'm somebody who's like kind of a tactics game purist, but they designed this game around that feature because there have been several battles where I have almost used the entirety of my allotted charges for the rewind thing because you get 10 per battle.
Yeah.
And dude, it's rough. It is rough. Like some of the bosses are fucking dude. Because the thing is, you fight a lot of enemies that have emblem rings like you do, and the emblem ring finishing moves or special moves are insanely powerful in this game. So if you don't like, if you position your characters wrong and the boss comes up and specials one of your weaker characters, like they are dead. They're just gonna get one shot because you can't dodge them, you can't avoid them, you can't block them. So you have to put somebody there that can actually tank the hit, you know?
Yeah.
And that is not always easy when you're fighting that boss surrounded by fucking 10 other enemies, you know, that are also threatening and not like pushovers in their own right. So this game is definitely really challenging, and I appreciate that in a Fire Emblem game because I feel like that kind of fell away, has fallen away in the more recent games. Like Awakening, I don't feel like was really challenging at all, or at least from what I remember. Fates was challenging in the conquest route only because you could not grind in that game, in that route. Like that one was a more traditional Fire Emblem experience, but Birthright and Revelations you were able to grind, so it was easier. And then Three Houses I don't remember really being that difficult at all, actually. The characters in that game got so fucking strong that you were just destroying like legions of enemy units at the same time. So and they didn't have this revival mechanic on the generals either in that game, or the enemy leaders. So you just had to kill them once and they would be dead generally. And
Yeah.
that would end a lot of missions. So I think that the changes they made, and honestly, there's some maps, dude, like later in the game where they have these insane triggers that happen where you will engage the final boss, and bro, I'm not fucking with you. I was trying to lure her out, and when I did, I started trying to engage her. She didn't actually come, but the game considered me having like engaged her. So it triggered these reinforcements from all edges of the map every turn. Like I'm talking 15 units were spawning on the map every turn, or it might have even been more. I think it was 20 or something. It was fucking bonkers. And I actually tried to like fight it. I thought it was, oh, maybe it's only for this turn, you know? And I tried to fight it, and I went 3 turns deep, and no, it was every single turn until the end of the battle, dude. Like it was nuts. I was like, holy shit. So they didn't hold back with this one, and I kind of appreciate them for it. It really brings me back to that old school Fire Emblem feel. And it's nice in that regard. So the game is good. The story's still stupid and terrible for the most part. It like it gets a little better for a minute, and then like it just gets goofy and stupid.
Yeah, I don't like. I actually kind of miss the old days where you were just like the tactician, and they kind of like talked to you
Yeah.
sometime, and then they just
Yes.
ignored you after that. Like I kind of want to go back to that because
I hate being a character in the game, like having an
yes,
avatar.
yeah, I don't
I
like it.
totally agree with you. Well, what I will say is this game does that a little differently. Because I feel like the Divine Dragon, you know, who's the main character, who's like supposed to be you. I think he's the most not like Avatar like of all of the ones in the last 4 games, in
Yes,
my
that's true.
opinion.
That's true.
Because he feels like his own character, you know, and you don't really
Yeah.
influence his decisions. Whereas like Robin from Awakening didn't feel like a character in my opinion. Corrin from Fates didn't really feel like a character most of the time.
Hmm.
Like she had moments, but it's just like the game is weird because it's so centered around her. It's just weird. Whereas this game, while it is centered around the Divine Dragon, like it makes sense within context. Um, and I don't have as much of a problem with it. But yeah, I agree with you. I kind of like, dude, this is the reason why I like Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance, because there is no avatar in that game at all. You're not the tactician, you're not a player, you're not a person in the game. You are not acknowledged at all by the game. Like
Oh, really?
the
So it's
game's
just like they're controlling their well,
it's just a story.
it's
All
just a
the characters
story.
have their own
Yeah.
agency, and that's why I like that those 2 games so much. Is because they are pure Fire Emblem. Like there's no weirdness with you being involved. Like no one's talking to you. Like there's nothing like that. You know. It just is what it is. The characters do what they're gonna do because that's what they would do. You know. And they're not being influenced by anybody either. Like they just take their own actions. You know. So um, yeah. I mean, I can't stop recommending those 2 games to you enough. Like if you can find the time to play them, man, just do it. Like I said, I will let you borrow them.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take you up on that offer one day because
Okay.
I'm
Do you have a
getting
Wii?
there. Yes, I do actually.
Okay, then you can play both of them because
Okay.
Wii's back compat with GameCube.
Well, I have a GameCube, so we're both on GameCube. Because I actually have a
One's
physical
on
GameCube.
GameCube, Radiant Dawn's on Wii. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, but yeah, Fire Emblem Engage, it's a good game. It's probably, I'd say it's probably the best game I played so far this year, like of new games. Um,
Okay.
but I don't think it's gonna hold up to some of the stuff coming out in the next few months. So, but yeah, all right, well, that's all I've been playing. Let's move on to news. Like you said, there's only one story this week, and it's one that kind of updated throughout the week. So early in the week, Ubisoft pulled out of E3, and this just broke today by IGN. They just broke this that E3 has officially been canceled for this year, and the IGN had a report. They kind of made it sound like that E3 might be dead almost. Like they made it sound like it wasn't coming back, but then the ESA did release a statement publicly after this article came out saying, quote, this was a difficult decision because of all the effort we and our partners put towards making this event happen. But we had to do what's right for the industry and what's right for E3. We appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle they couldn't overcome. For those who did commit to E3 2023, we're sorry we can't put on the showcase you deserve and that you've come to expect from ReedPop's event experiences. End quote. And then they did say later after that the ESA and ReedPop will continue to work together on future E3 events. So what do you think of this one, Montrell?
Um, I posted like Venom standing over the grave comic and laughing.
Yeah.
Because I mean I liked E3, but I gotta call a spade a spade. It was terrible for like the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years. The
It's
last
been
one
in
we
its
had,
death throes since
yeah,
2019.
20. I was gonna say 2019. I think was the last good one we had. And that one was being generous because we hadn't had a good one in a while. And
Right.
I think it comes down to like money. Um,
Yeah.
why spend my money on a E3 where I can just do a Nintendo Direct, or I can do a inside Xbox, or I can do a PlayStation State of Play or showcase? Why spend
Right.
my money on this where I can just do that? Then on top of that, you have Jeff Keighley's video game awards, which is pretty much new E3 now. People were watching that because we were getting announcements and everything of that nature, and I feel like it respects the the developers more as
Mm-hmm.
far as that. I don't know what it is about E3. I feel like E3 doesn't respect the viewer and
Yeah.
somehow doesn't respect the developers as well. It feels like the only thing it respects are the publishers. And now the publishers are realizing we can just do our own shit.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're going to have to redesign E3 to where it can be public developer friendly and consumer friendly. It can't be this because I remember trying to go to E3. I wanted to go to E3, but it was $600 for like a regular fucking public ticket. That's insane to me. That's
Yeah.
fucking insane. Uh, I yeah, they just have to redesign it, and I feel like this was a long time coming. Like that, COVID was the wipe that I think was kind of needed, in my opinion, as far as
Right.
a lot of technology and a lot of the way things worked and everything like that. It was some good, some bad. Um, but yeah, like I haven't really been a fan of E3 for the last, I'll be honest, for like the last 6, 7 years, to be honest with you. I think it was in the shitter. Ever since, to be honest with you, ever since 2013 when like Xbox got announced, the Xbox One got announced, it's been really bad for that for E3. And then
I think there was some good ones in there. Sony had some really good shows in the middle of the
it was
year.
mainly Sony, but then once
Yeah.
Sony pulled out, I was just like, there's
Exactly.
no point in watching this
Right.
anymore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. The second Sony pulled out in 2019, um, and remember 2018, the show in 2018 was bad for Sony. They showed 4 games and they had that weird
Yep.
like guy playing a flute and all that weird shit they were doing. You remember that? That was the last one they
Yeah.
did. They
Yeah.
really kind of phoned that one in my opinion. And which is funny because there was probably a lot of prep behind the scenes required, but it didn't hit, because we expected their showcases generally were huge. They would show like fucking 20 games, third party, first party, all sorts of shit, right?
Yeah.
That was why their E3 was exciting, and I think that was the first sign. Clearly, they weren't invested in E3 at that moment, and then they pulled out the next year, and I think that was kind of the beginning of the end for it, to me. And then COVID hit, and that was the death knell, right? I think they've been trying to bring it back and trying to make it happen again, but it just, dude, I don't even remember what the hell happened at E3 last year. I legitimately have like very little memory of anything that was announced of import, you know. um, so I think it's clear that the industry at this point has kind of moved on from E3, and as much as the ESA is going to try to do events in the future, like I think if they're going to try to continue doing E3, they really need to reinvent what it is, because what it has been is no longer what the industry really needs, you know. And I think that's kind of reality at this point. So as much as I'm sad about it personally, I miss the old E3. I miss those shows. I I just, it's not coming back, right? Like Sony's never going back to E3 even if they come back forever, you know? Like they're not going to go to
Yeah.
E3 anymore. And I think even Microsoft isn't going to go. They did their own event last year, you know? They did it in July, right? I think it was.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like they're not doing it. Nintendo doesn't go. Like they do their own thing. Without those companies there, I just don't see much of a reason for E3 to even be there. They're the center of gravity that pulls everybody else in. Without them, there's really nothing that like, yeah, sure, great. It's nice to see Square Enix and Capcom and see what they're working on, but I don't need E3 for that necessarily. The reason I liked E3 is that we got the big update from the big three, you know, the big three
Yeah.
publishers. And they almost always delivered. Like at least one of them always delivered. You know, we could kind of rely on that, and now it's just like, it's just nothing there anymore. So um, the writing's been on the wall for a while. I just, I don't know if the ESA itself is necessarily in trouble because it really can't be. The industry needs it to live because it is the lobbying body of the entire game industry. So um, I doubt publishers would let the ESA just die, but the E3 is a big source of revenue for them. I think it generates over half of what they make in a year, so
Well,
they're gonna need
I
to make
just
that money up somehow.
yeah, I feel like they have to really be they have to change the way shit works. They have to.
Yeah,
It's just more cost effective to stream now. So, but I don't think cons are dead. So I think, like for example, TwitchCon, like that's fucking huge. People watch that. People go to that. They can meet, and it
yeah,
doesn't cost that much to get in. So you have to make it to where it's affordable for everybody. You can't make it this big exclusive event like, oh, gamers will pay $700 to get exclusive backpage patches. Like, no, we're done with that now. Like, you have to, and you have to make the sets to where it's like, I don't want Ubisoft coming out there again with fucking, you know, God rest their soul, like Linkin Park or somebody, right?
yeah.
I don't care about that anymore. Like, I'm sorry, like, don't put fucking Green Day while showing back, fucking Assassin's Creed in the background while they're playing their latest album. I don't fucking care about that. Like, everything needs to be redesigned. People are coming there for games, and that's what we want. Like Jeff Keighley, he can get away with that shit. He can get away with like, them doing musical sets and everything. And the musical sets they do, it's not fucking Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not 50
Yeah,
Cent
it's
coming
usually
out.
game related
It's game
stuff.
related. Like that's what people want, and that's very successful. I watched the last war show, and I was fucking blown away when they did the fucking Xenoblade flute shit. I was like,
Yeah, that
holy
was cool.
shit! Like it was fucking awesome, man. A lot of people appreciated that shit, and that's what they need to do more. Like they need to learn from Jeff Keighley shit, and like, all right, what are they doing that's right? And they need to put it into. They need to learn from like they need to make it a con event. E3 needs to be a con event now. It doesn't need to be um all commercial and shit
Well,
like that.
yeah, it's always been a show for publishers, like you said. Like it was designed to bring publishers out and for them to announce things for their shareholders. It really wasn't meant for the public. And I think in recent years they tried to make it more for the public, but it was still a show for those publishers at its
Exactly.
heart. And yeah, I think you're totally right. It needs to turn into something that is more for the fans. This isn't the place. I don't think E3 is the place where game news is really going to come out of anymore. Like that's not. I don't think that. I don't think that's what it's going to be going forward. It's got to be
But
something else. And you
but
can get news in there maybe, but
I was
like
just
that
gonna
can't.
say that like they can
Yeah.
still make it that way, but they need to design it to where it's a con event now. Get people to dress up. Come dressed up as your favorite video game characters and all this shit like that. Make it the new packs of video games. Make it the the Comic Con of video games where people can come there because people dress at these cons and these anime conventions as video game characters. And sometimes when I go to those events, especially like the anime conventions, a lot of anime people surprisingly doesn't translate well to video games. So you can come as fucking Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War and shit like that, and some people would not know who that is. It's a thing. Like people don't know who those characters are. So have one for make E3. Don't even call it E3, or you can call it E3 Con or Econ or something like that, or E3 Con or some shit. Like just rebrand it and still have and the thing about con events that a lot of people don't know is there's shit that is scheduled. So there is stuff that's like major events that are scheduled. There's like a rave night at the end of every night at some cons and big tournaments and everything of that nature. Schedule it like that to where like people can walk in to these big conference rooms or whatever, these giant stadiums, or rent out a whole fucking area and then just have it like that to where like okay, the Ubisoft press panel is coming and they're going to show all their fucking games and you can actually talk to them, ask developers questions and shit like that. Like they just
Yep.
need to reframe it. Um,
Right.
and hopefully they do that because I I actually don't think they're going to do what we're talking about. They're not going to do that next year. I think it's going to actually take a couple years to get to where what I'm talking about. So they're like oh, okay, because people want to come back outside. People want to go to these events now. I think
Yeah.
the days of like COVID and everything like that have taken a toll on people, and people want to. These cons that are coming out now have more attendance than than usual. A lot of people are going to these cons and stuff like that. So there's no excuse. The COVID thing is not an excuse anymore. I think the way they're framing the show is the big excuse, but they're hiding behind COVID. If that makes any sense.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, makes sense. It's unfortunate, but it was coming no matter what. I don't think this was inevitable for E3 at this point. So all right. Well, let's move on. We don't have any more stories, but I did want to do a guess the meta score. So we did Resident Evil. We kind of did that like a month ago now, but we are past that game. And I want again, like I said, I want to do these while I'm thinking about them so I don't forget before the game comes out. Is we got Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming at the end of April, April 28th. So, Montreal, what are you thinking on this one? How do you think this game will be received?
I actually think a lot of people will like it. I think a lot of people got over their complaints. I mean, including us of the protagonist. Um, and it is what it is now with the
Hmm.
protagonist, and I accepted that. But the game actually looks great. I'm still a little iffy on the combat, as far as like the animation quality and everything. It looks pretty. At least the ones I've seen, it still has that jank look to it. Like I don't know if you remember the first one, how it had that kind of a jank
Yeah.
look to it. It looks like it still has that, but you can do a lot more stuff. I did see some of the force powers, but I'm going dark on it. So this is another game I'm just going completely dark on. And with that being said, I think it's going to get a solid 9. I don't see it
Nine.
getting below. I can see it getting 8.5, but I'm going with
Okay.
9.
Nine.
I'll say 9.1.
9.1. Okay. I I disagree with you a little bit. I think people are very into this game. Um, I think there's a lot of love for the first one, and the first one actually has consistently been on sales charts for a while.
Yeah,
Um, so, but I'm gonna give it an 8.8. I think
8.8. Okay, that's decent.
little bit of space between us. Um, but we'll revisit this once the game comes out, of course. But I'm like you, I'm going dark on it. I don't need to see anything else. I know I'm
Yeah.
playing this game. So,
Yep.
um, and we're a month out from it. So yeah.
Oh, did you
So
see Zelda's gameplay video? I forgot to post it and send it to you.
no, I didn't actually.
Yes.
I do
So
need to check
that
that
was
out.
the other
Well,
thing. I did
yeah,
see it, and they posted the combat pretty much and some of the items that they have and the new abilities you have. They didn't talk much in reference to like the main thing that we were worried about as far as like exploration and like
shrines and everything. Yeah.
dungeons and everything like that and spires. Like we don't know yet. We don't know that yet. So
Okay.
the world does look a lot bigger though. It's a lot more stuff you can do. I recommend you take it out. Check it out. You can actually like type in like I didn't even know they had a fucking direct. I didn't know it.
I saw it the
So
other day. I actually saw it like minutes after it happened, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay, well."
yeah, so that was
But
that the director was about.
okay,
Yeah, just check it out. I the game actually looks pretty cool though. Like it's beautiful. Uh,
yeah.
obviously,
How are
because
they doing that
Xenoblade.
on the Switch at this point?
Man, you already know who it was. Monolith Soft, man. That's all Monolith Soft. I'm not giving this other team no credit for that.
They're fucking magicians, dude. They're fucking wizards. Like, I do not understand because dude, I've heard some people talk about Xenoblade that like aren't really like big Switch players, and they're like, yeah, it looks good for a Switch game, and that's how they describe it.
No, you should watch
And
Digital Foundry shit. They are amazed. They're like, how the fuck did they do some of
yeah,
this shit?
dude, that's the thing. I think it's just like calling it putting it in that context does such a disservice or disrespectful to what the work they do, because I think what they've pulled off on every console with the Xenoblade games like Wii U, Switch is unbelievable. I don't understand, like the original Xenoblade. I can't believe that game runs on a Wii,
Yeah,
like that game runs on a Wii, guys. Like if you play Definitive Edition,
that
okay, it looks great, right? It looks awesome, but imagine that game with the same draw distance and everything running on a Wii. It doesn't look that good. The fidelity's not anywhere near that good. Like it looks like
yeah,
garbage in comparison, but dude, it's still like you can see all the shit you see in the game. You can see that on the Wii version too. Like same
yeah.
draw distance and everything. Like that impression is still there. I don't understand how they fucking achieved that game. And then X on the Wii U, I still
Oh
don't
my
fucking
god,
get
I
that
still
shit,
don't
dude.
understand how they did that shit. Now that game
That game
is a
is
technical
insane.
marvel. That game is a technical marvel.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking wild. Like it's yeah, that one
Even
always
running
blew me
on
away too.
computer with like HD graphics, so I'm on my emulator. I'm like, I can't believe this is a fucking Wii U game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know they kind of upscaled it because, like, for the emulator and shit like that. But I'm like, this is fucking insane. And I look at old gameplay footage of it, and I'm like, this still looks fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that shit looks fucking incredible. 3, yeah, 3 blew my mind though. 3, I was just
Yeah.
like,
No, they
this,
really topped themselves with 3. I was
yeah,
fucking oh my god, dude. Yeah.
yeah, 3. The one part that got me with 3 is at the end when you're fighting a boss and you're fighting him like on this balcony area, and then at one point in the fight they zoom out or they're showing the outside battle happening as well, and you can still see that if you did like a move or something, you can still see your move in the air or whatever, like the effects
Well,
of
and
it.
dude, there's like no frame drops, by the way. Like the game doesn't slow down at all. I don't understand how they do it because, dude, I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy on a PS fucking 5, and and that game has frame drop issues, like
I will
slowdown.
say
I can't
it did
believe
have
that.
some frame. Xenoblade 3 did have some frame drops, but I'm pretty sure they patched it by now. But it did have some frame drops when it first
You're
came
right.
out.
That is true. At launch, it did have frame drops, but it was like in that moment though, you would think there would be frame drops when they're like zooming out really fast. Dude, it doesn't. It's like totally smooth. I'm like, I don't understand how you're doing this shit. Like, it's crazy, man. Like they're fucking wizards. Like Monolith Soft's crazy good. I think Nintendo. They are one of the biggest steals, like in the game industry. That like Nintendo. The fact that Nintendo got a hold of them and bought them, and brought them into the fold is like one of the best decisions I think they've ever made.
Yeah, Square had a
'Cause
chance to buy them. PlayStation had a chance to buy them, and
yeah,
they just didn't take it. I don't think they saw the vision, especially with Xenogears. I don't think. I think Square thought that was such a waste of their money which is incredible
Well,
because
Xenosaga, yeah, I
Xenosaga,
remember.
Xenosaga, I said Xenogears, Xenosaga. I think that was such a
I
miss
didn't
by them
see it.
because if you talk to people,
Nintendo,
they
yeah,
talk about that game. People talk about Xenosaga in like the highest regard. They're like, "Yo, I played
yeah.
Xenosaga, bro," and I don't know, man. Like I haven't
Like
played it, and
3-hour cutscenes,
yeah,
literally
man.
3-hour cutscenes, man.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but from what I know, people who have played it, they're just like, "Yo, Xenosaga, I need a sequel to it. I need a third entry of it,
They
or
never
whatever the
finished
case."
it. Yeah, they didn't actually
Yeah.
finish it. Yeah. They couldn't get funding, I think, for the last I think was there a third one? I don't think there was a third one. I think they were supposed to be and they never made it. But see, I think what happened was Nintendo got the games that were more popular with Bait and Katos probably, and they
Hmm.
probably saw they probably played those games and they're like, man, these are fucking incredible. Like, and they I think they recognized the talent and just accepted the fact that these guys aren't like, they're not gonna make they're not going to make a Mario game that sells 25 million copies, but that's fine. If your expectations are in check, it's okay. Like, you don't need every game to sell 25 million copies. And I like the fact that Nintendo accepts that, because the thing is, this studio doesn't just make Xenoblade games. Like, they help Nintendo with all sorts of shit. Both Zelda games that have come out on the Switch, they've helped with tremendously. They actually did some work on Smash Brothers, I think,
I
as
believe it.
well, and some other random games.
I just
So
think
they're
they understand engines. Like whoever they
yes,
hire on their team, they just
they have
understand.
probably. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here. They probably have some of the best engineers in the game industry, like in their
Yeah.
company, because like the shit they pull off is nuts.
Well, so
So
I did look it up real quick. So Xenosaga was it's published and owned by Namco. So they
mm,
own that series.
mm-hmm,
Xenogears is owned
okay,
by, which is still made by the same studio. It's owned by Square. So Xenogears, a lot of people love Xenogears.
yes,
Xenosaga is the one that they didn't have a chance to finish, or like episode 3 never got released, I think, or something like
because it
that.
was a game that had 3-hour cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were
uh
really going. They were ball. They're. I mean, they've always been really ballsy, in my opinion. But that is some of the
yeah.
ballsiest shit at a time when game stories were not front and center. I feel like to release a game that has cutscenes that are literally an
See,
hour or longer is
I
was
disagree, man.
insane.
I think that was like peak JRPG. Like
Yeah, I know it
peak.
was. It was. The 10 years from like 1995 to like 2005 was like peak JRPG.
Yeah. That's insane to me. I'm sorry if we're being Xenoblade or Monolith Soft fanboys. I just really respect that company. I think they're one of the most underrated companies in gaming.
Yeah.
Like no one really talks about them.
No,
It's
that's why
insane to
I get
me.
really defensive when I hear people talk about Xenoblade. As much as I've criticized the games pretty heavily, at the same time, hearing other people criticize it really makes me upset. I get mad because I'm like, they criticize it in ways that don't, like, they're not.
They're not respectful of it. Like they don't respect it at all.
Yeah, and I think they don't see what it really is. They're criticizing it from a standpoint of like a Final Fantasy gamer, like they
Yeah.
play Final Fantasy games, it's like they don't really know what the game is trying to do, and they're like, oh, it's too slow, it's taking too long to do, and it's like, oh, man, like, all right, well, shut up, just stop playing it then, like, just shut up, like, I don't.
And a lot of them do.
Yeah,
When this one guy who like he I played video games with him, but he was on my timeline. He's like, I don't understand how you played this game, or I don't understand how you play all three of them, because he always shits on Xenoblade every time I mention it, like uh unannounced. Like I don't even like acknowledge like him or whatever.
hmm,
So I asked him like, man, have you even played Xenoblade? He's like, yeah, I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and come to find out, he said that like, the combat was slow. And he got all the way to the part where like Poppy, the big Poppy robot, he couldn't beat her. And he was just telling me why he couldn't beat her. And I was like, oh man. I was like,
yeah,
did you know that you can cancel your arts into other arts? And he's like, no. I'm like, yeah, it's on a spear grid. If you upgrade them and you do certain things, you can get to that. That one's actually really easy to get to for each character. Uh He's like, I didn't fucking know that. And I'm like, yeah, the game really doesn't explain that to you, but like, yeah, you didn't fully understand the game. And that was
Right.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was his first Xenoblade. So I
Which
was
is the
like, bro,
worst one to start with, in my
yes,
opinion.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's the
Yeah.
worst one to start with.
Yeah.
Um, which is funny because that's the most popular one in the series,
Because
unfortunately.
it was the one most people were introduced to. Like it was the
Exactly.
first one that came out on Switch, and nobody played X. Like literally nobody played X, because nobody owned a Wii U. So
Hmm.
and then the Xenoblade Chronicles was such a low print run back in the day. It was
Yep.
so hard to find that nobody played that on the Wii either. Like it
So
was
I feel like if you were turned off by Chronicles 2, you weren't going to play Chronicles Definitive Edition, which was his case. He's like, I didn't like 2, so why the fuck would I go back and play Chronicles or Xenoblade
Oh, did
Chronicles?
you tell him to go do it though?
I told him to. I don't think he did though. I think he's just completely turned off from Xenoblade. But I was telling him, I told him the combat is significantly more faster in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. You pick up on it much faster. They add mechanics onto it, but the core game is actually revealed within the first like 5 hours of the game. Uh,
Yeah.
it's its pacing is way better than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't know what the fuck they were doing in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, to be honest with you. Even 3, in my opinion, is paced better than 2.
Definitely, definitely. It still
So
has the same layering thing, and I still think it's
yeah,
a bit of an issue, but it's not as bad as two. Two was, I think, the problem with two, and I had this issue because I had the same experience that dude did. Like I didn't know about the art canceling thing until late in the game. Like I was probably halfway to 2/3 of the way through the game because, dude, the description of what that is on the sphere grid does not say art canceling. Like it's fucking like something weird. It doesn't make sense what it says. And
yeah.
I was just like, I don't know what this does. I'm gonna ignore it. So that's what I did. And then I went and found out. I like read up on it. I'm like, wait a sec, are you fucking kidding me? This is like a core mechanic of the game, like, and
It's
yeah,
literally a core mechanic. It's totally under like they
yeah,
don't mention it
it's
or anything. Only reason I knew about it is because Andy told me about it when I first got the game. He's like, "No,
right.
bro. Once you unlock the
Beeline for
ability to
that.
cancel,
Yeah,
yeah." He's like beeline for unlocking cancel arts or whatever the case may be. And I was like, "All right, man, I'll do it." And I saw it on the spear grid, and you're right. The way it's worded is really fucking weird. But I saw it and I was like, "Oh, okay. I can cancel my arts now." And once I did that, I was like, "Oh, I see why Andy loves this game now." Because I
well
love
the
it. Once you
yeah,
unlock it, that part, the game
yeah.
opens up like so many opportunities.
Well,
But
the other thing you get at some point too is the ability to start combat with an art already charged,
oh yeah,
which
yep,
that's another thing that speeds the combat up because in the early game you don't like
yep,
you don't have art canceling and you cannot charge. You have to auto attack to charge your arts. So you're literally just standing there hitting something for like 30 seconds before you can even use an art. And it's
yep,
like it's so boring. I don't know why they designed it like that. It's so weird.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I could talk about two for a million years and why things that they did wrong with it, but
Yeah, but I just wanted
um,
to give that
yeah.
example. Like I mean, this we're just talking about Minor Love Soft and everything like that. So, but yeah, if you can though, I recommend checking out that Zelda video.
Well, so is the
The,
combat does it look more robust than Breath of the Wild, like by a
they only
significant
showed a
amount?
little bit of it, but in my opinion, it looks. I would say the game is more focused around your creation of. You can create your weapons now, so
Oh,
like I said, yeah, go. I recommend going and
okay.
checking it out. You can create your weapons out of different items, and I think that's where the game is getting its more
Like
for
forging
combat
almost.
wise, huh?
Yeah, like forging.
Yeah, you can forge. You can combine. You have this a new item or a new ability. You can combine weapons together, and you can make like a fucking huge pole stick or whatever the fuck now, in a
Oh,
shield. And
so it's
and
like okay, so it's like an alchemy system almost
yeah, yeah.
or something.
So
Yeah.
I recommend you go check it out though. It is pretty cool what they're doing with the combat. I think there is a durability system. There is the durability is there, but I think the reason why it's there is because they want instead of stealing enemies' items, you can now pretty much make your own items, uh, and do whatever you want. They really heavily lean into like the customability of how you play the game. I think they
Okay.
saw all the clips that people were doing in the first game, and they vastly opened that up for everybody in this game. So I actually may check this one out to be honest with you. I just need to know the exploration part. That was my biggest gripe with not the combat, to be honest with you, wasn't my biggest gripe with the first game. It was the exploration, or lack thereof exploration, in my opinion. I know people are gonna kill me for that, but I didn't like the fucking towers or spears or whatever, spires or whatever the fuck you call them. I didn't like that shit. That
Shrines.
shit was boring. Yeah, the try. I didn't like that shit at all. So,
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to score that one while we're here? Because that one only comes out 2 weeks after Star Wars.
oh, that's probably gonna get like a 9.5 or 10. Like, I don't know, probably a 10. I'd say like 9.6.
You said 9.6.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the same thing. Fuck it. I will say the same thing.
that's heavily biased. I don't think it's. I don't think it looks like a 9.6, but
No,
that's a
but
heavily
I
biased
mean,
game.
Nintendo always gets a bump, dude. Like
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild got those scores, and we have long held that it is not a fucking 10. You know.
Yeah.
So, but all right, fair enough. We shall see. All right, well, I think we can close it there. Before we run out of time here on our fucking recording, because
Oh no, we
will
don't. We
suck
don't have
my
a
dick.
limit here.
Oh, we don't have a limit? I thought you said we
We don't.
did.
No, I told you. I say after you do the
Oh,
rigmarole.
that's right. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We're on the fucking trial because yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's right. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, we're naturally finishing off here, anyways. So, um, is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Nope, that's it.
All right, fair enough. All right, everybody. If you like this episode, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you are listening to it on. And please share it with your friends. If you would like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrapForTheHokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I'm at ThunderNet01, and the show is at The Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to playerstake01@gmail.com. And that will be it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week.